Hello, champions. Welcome back to the Self-Help Podcast. This is your weekly dose of motivation, dropping every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Pham, the creator of this show and your companion on this incredible path of transformation. Here you will discover all the right tools and the right mindsets to help you master your personal growth. Every week we unlock science-backed strategies to help you master yourself, grow stronger, and level up in every area of your life. If you are ready to boost your productivity, build unshakable confidence, and create lasting change that actually sticks, you are exactly where you need to be right now. And before we dive into today's conversation, I want you to know that everything we cover, all the resources, the free templates, the actionable guides, they are all waiting for you in the video description below. So do not stress about taking notes. Just relax, listen, absorb what resonates with you, and today we are talking about 5 life-changing habits that completely transformed my life. You know, there is something really profound about looking back at your year and realizing you are not the same person you were 12 months ago. And I am not talking about because something dramatic happened, like you won the lottery or moved to another country or had some massive life event. I am talking about those small, consistent changes that compound over time into something truly transformative. That is what happened to me this year. This year has been full of positive shifts for me personally. I have been feeling more productive, more creative, and significantly healthier than I have felt in quite a while. And when I took time to really reflect on what actually moved the needle, what actually created these changes, it boiled down to 5 fundamental habits that I started doing almost every single day. These are not extraordinary practices, my friend. You will not find any crazy biohacking secrets here, or expensive routines that require a personal chef and a private gym. But what I discovered is that these 5 life-changing habits, when practiced consistently, have added up to create a substantial impact on every area of my life. So let me share them with you today. And more importantly, let me share how you can implement them in your own life starting right now. Let us talk about the first habit. Drinking black coffee with absolutely no sugar. Now I know what you are thinking. Diep, are you seriously telling me that coffee is a life-changing habit? Yes, I am. But let me explain why this is so much more than just about the beverage itself. This is something that required a complete shift in my relationship with coffee. For years, and I mean years, I was like most people. I was adding cream, sugar, flavored syrups, essentially turning what could be a simple drink into a dessert. I mean, let us be honest. Some of those coffee drinks have more sugar than a candy bar, right? Then I made a decision that seemed really small at the time, but ended up changing how I approached my entire day. I decided I would drink my coffee black. Completely black. No sugar, no cream, no sweeteners of any kind. None of that artificial stuff either. Just pure black coffee. Now let me tell you, the first week was brutal. I am not going to lie to you. Black coffee tastes bitter when you are used to all that sweetness. It feels harsh. Every single sip made me want to add just a little bit of sugar, just to take the edge off. Just a tiny spoonful, but I stuck with it. I committed to this for 30 days no matter what. And something remarkable happened. After about 2 weeks, my taste buds adjusted. I started actually tasting the coffee itself. The subtle notes, the natural flavors that had been completely masked by all those additives. Some coffee actually has hints of chocolate or fruit or nuts, and I never knew that because I was drowning it in sugar. More importantly, I stopped experiencing those mid-morning energy crashes that used to plague me every single day. Here is what I did not realize when I was loading my coffee with sugar. I was starting every single day with a massive blood sugar spike followed by an inevitable crash. By 10 or 11 in the morning, I would feel absolutely exhausted and reach for another sweetened coffee, just perpetuating the cycle over and over again. It was like being on this energy roller coaster that I could not get off. Black coffee changed that completely. The energy it provides is clean, steady, and sustained. No spike, no crash, just consistent alertness that carries me through my entire morning and into the afternoon. But you know what? The real transformation was psychological. This simple habit became an anchor for my entire morning routine. The ritual of preparing it, grinding the beans if I have time, smelling that aroma, those few quiet moments of sipping it before the chaos of the day began, it created a sense of intentionally that rippled through everything else I did. Starting my day with black coffee signaled to my brain, we are doing things differently now. We are choosing discipline over convenience. We are building a better version of ourselves, one small decision at a time. That signal matters more than you might think. Among the 5 life-changing habits I practice, this one set the tone for all the others. It is like the domino that knocks down all the other dominoes in a positive way. Now let me move to the second habit, and this one really surprised me with its profound impact. Taking a slow walk in nature for at least 30 minutes every single day. Now pay attention to the word slow here, because this is crucial. I am not talking about power walking or hitting step goals on your fitness tracker, or speed walking while listening to podcasts. I am talking about slow, intentional walking in natural settings. Parks, trails, tree-lined streets, anywhere with greenery and fresh air. 30 minutes minimum every single day. No phone, no podcasts, no distractions, no checking messages while you walk. Just you, your thoughts, and nature. That is it. This was really difficult at first, especially for someone like me who always felt this intense need to be productive, to be doing something, to be accomplishing something every moment of the day. The idea of just walking slowly for 30 minutes felt almost wasteful. Shouldn't I be working, creating content, responding to messages, building my business? There is so much to do, right? But I committed to it anyway. I made it non-negotiable. And within weeks I understood why this practice has been valued in so many cultures throughout history. In Asia, where I am from, the concept of mindful walking has deep roots in Buddhist and Taoist traditions. Monks have been doing walking meditation for thousands of years. In the West, writers and thinkers from Thoreau to Einstein to Charles Darwin were known for their daily walks. Einstein actually said some of his best ideas came to him during his walks. They all understood something that our modern productivity culture has completely forgotten. Stillness in motion creates clarity. During these walks, I'm not trying to solve problems or plan my day or figure things out. I am just observing. The way light filters through leaves. The sound of wind moving through trees. The feeling of my feet connecting with the earth, step after step. The smell of grass or flowers or rain in the air. This simple act of presence does something remarkable for your nervous system. It downregulates stress, it lowers cortisol levels, and it creates space for thoughts to settle instead of constantly racing. Some of my best ideas have come during these walks. Not because I was trying to think of ideas, but because I finally gave my mind permission to wander without direction. When you stop forcing creativity, when you stop trying so hard, it flows naturally. It is like when you are trying to remember someone's name and you cannot, but the moment you stop trying, it pops into your head. The physical benefits are real too. 30 minutes of walking every day has improved my cardiovascular health, helped with the weight loss I mentioned earlier, about 25 pounds over the last several months, and given me more consistent energy throughout the day. My resting heart rate has improved. My sleep has improved. But the mental and emotional benefits are even more significant. These walks have become my daily reset button. No matter how chaotic or stressful my day gets, no matter what fires I need to put out or problems I need to solve, I know I have those 30 minutes of peace waiting for me. Sometimes I walk in the morning right after my coffee and prayers. Sometimes in the evening when the day winds down. The timing matters less than the consistency. What matters is that I show up for it every single day. This habit has taught me something crucial that I want you to really hear. You do not always need to move fast to move forward. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is slow down, breathe deeply, and simply be present in this moment right now. Among the 5 life-changing habits that transformed my year, this one gave me back my sense of peace in a world that constantly demands our attention and energy. Now the third habit, carrying a notebook everywhere. And I mean everywhere. This might seem incredibly simple, and you know what, it is. But it has been very, very effective for me. I carry my favorite notebook with me just about everywhere I go, and I jot down ideas as they come to me. I have forgotten enough good ideas at this point that I do not want to lose any more. And let me tell you, I have lost some really good ideas because I thought I would remember them later. Here is what most people do not understand about ideas. They are fleeting. They are like butterflies. You might have a brilliant insight while taking a shower, during your nature walk, driving to work, or having a conversation with a friend, and if you do not capture it immediately, it evaporates like morning fog. Poof, gone forever. You tell yourself, I will remember it later. But you will not. Or you will remember that you had an idea. You will remember that it felt important, but not what the idea actually was, which is somehow even more frustrating than not remembering at all. It is like that feeling of a word being on the tip of your tongue, but you just cannot quite get it. The major benefit of carrying a notebook everywhere is not just about not losing ideas, although that is important. It is about what happens when you start accumulating them over time. Once you begin capturing your ideas consistently, day after day, week after week, you can start comparing them, combining them, and sensing themes. Patterns emerge that you would never see otherwise. Connections form that would not have been visible if the ideas were scattered across your brain, your phone notes, random scraps of paper, and forgotten conversations. Instead of constantly trying to come up with new ideas from scratch, staring at a blank page, I can look through my notebook and expand on existing ones. It is like having a conversation with past versions of myself, each one contributing insights that I can build upon. My notebook from 3 months ago gives me ideas that I develop today. This has become particularly valuable for my creative work. When I sit down to write a blog post or create content for this podcast, or develop a new product, I am not staring at a blank page wondering what to say, feeling that pressure and anxiety. I have pages and pages and pages of raw material to work with. Ideas I captured during my morning walk. Insights that came to me while drinking my black coffee. Observations I made throughout my day. I have also noticed something really interesting. The physical act of writing by hand engages my brain differently than typing on a phone or computer. There is something about the slower, more deliberate process of handwriting that helps me think more deeply about what I am capturing. Neuroscience actually backs this up. When you write by hand, you activate different parts of your brain than when you type. It creates stronger neural connections and better memory retention. My notebook has become a trusted companion. It sits next to my black coffee in the morning while I do my prayers. It comes with me on my nature walks tucked into my pocket or bag. It is on my desk while I work. It travels with me everywhere I go. Among the 5 life-changing habits I practice, this one has had the most direct impact on my creative output. It has transformed how I work and eliminated that paralyzing feeling of, I do not know what to create today. If you are someone who creates anything, whether it is content, art, music, business ideas, or solutions to problems at work, I cannot recommend this habit enough. Your future self will thank you for capturing the thoughts your present self is having right now in this moment. All right, let us talk about the 4th habit. Drinking massive amounts of water. Now I know. This habit appears in just about every health book, every video, every article you will ever encounter about wellness. It is so common that it almost feels cliché to mention it. You have heard it a million times. Drink more water. 8 glasses a day. Stay hydrated. Blah, blah, blah. But after taking my water intake more seriously, I completely understand why it is repeated so often. Because it genuinely works. The reason everyone talks about it is because it actually makes a massive difference. Here is my system, and I want you to really pay attention to this, because the system matters. I have a big 32-ounce water bottle that I start off the day by filling up and drinking completely. That is my first bottle right there in the morning. After that, I make sure to drink at least 1 more full bottle at a minimum. That is 64 ounces right there, which is 8 cups. On good days, I drink 3 or 4 bottles, totaling 128 ounces per day, which is a gallon. Now that might sound like a lot, and it is, but your body needs it, especially if you are active or live in a warm climate. The benefits are both physical and structural. Physically, staying properly hydrated helps me feel more satiated overall. I am less likely to mistake thirst for hunger. A lot of times when we think we are hungry, we are actually just thirsty. Our bodies send similar signals. My skin looks better. I used to have really dry skin and I tried all these expensive lotions and creams. But honestly, drinking more water did more for my skin than any product ever did. My energy is more stable throughout the day. No more afternoon slumps where I feel like I need a nap. My mental clarity is sharper. Brain fog becomes much less common when you are properly hydrated. Your brain is about 73% water, so when you are dehydrated, your brain literally cannot function at its best. During my daily nature walks, I always bring water with me. I have a smaller bottle I carry just for my walks. Staying hydrated during that peaceful time helps me feel more present and energized throughout the walk. I can walk longer, I feel better, and I enjoy it more. But there is a structural benefit that is equally important, and this is something I did not anticipate when I started this habit. Hydration provides a relatively consistent reminder for me to get up from my computer during the day, both to refill my water bottle and obviously to use the bathroom. Now this might sound silly, I get it, but these forced breaks have become crucial for my productivity and mental clarity. When you are deep in work, in that flow state, hours can pass without you moving from your chair. Your body gets stiff, your neck hurts, your back aches, your mind gets foggy, and your creativity diminishes without you even realizing it. You just think you are tired, but really you have been sitting still for 3 hours straight. The need to constantly refill and empty my water bottle creates natural intervals of movement throughout my day. Every hour or two I am up and moving. These micro breaks give my brain time to process information subconsciously and often lead to better solutions than if I had just powered through without stopping. Some of my best problem solving happens when I step away from the problem for a few minutes. I have also noticed that proper hydration supports all my other habits. When I am well hydrated, my morning black coffee tastes better and works more effectively. The caffeine absorbs better. My nature walks feel more energizing because my body has the fluids it needs to function. My thinking is clearer when I am capturing ideas in my notebook because my brain is properly hydrated. My morning prayers feel more focused and present because I am not distracted by physical discomfort or brain fog. This is why proper hydration makes my list of 5 life-changing habits. It is not just about health, although that is important. It is about creating a rhythm to your day that supports both your body and your mind. It is the foundation that makes everything else work better. Everything I do works better when I am properly hydrated. It is like oil in a car engine. You do not think about it much, but without it, everything breaks down. Now we arrive at the 5th and final habit, and this is the big one. Starting my day with morning prayers. This is the habit that ties everything together. This is the foundation upon which all the other 5 life-changing habits are built. And I want to be really clear about something before I go deeper into this. When I talk about prayer, I am not talking about any specific religion or dogma. I am talking about a spiritual practice of connection, intention, and gratitude. Starting my day with morning prayers has become the most sacred and non-negotiable part of my routine. Before I check my phone, before I look at emails, before I engage with the outside world and all its demands, I spend time in prayer and reflection. This is my time. This is sacred time. Growing up in an Asian household, spirituality was always present, but sometimes it felt more like ritual than genuine connection. You do certain things because that is what you do, not because you deeply connect with why you are doing them. As I got older and began studying both Eastern and Western spiritual traditions, Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity, I realized that prayer is not about religious performance. It is not about saying the right words or following the right formula. It is about intentional connection with something greater than yourself. Whether you call that God, the universe, source, higher power, or something else entirely, it does not matter. What matters is that connection. My morning prayers are simple but profound. I find a quiet space in my home, usually the same spot every day because that consistency helps. I sit comfortably, close my eyes, and spend 15 to 20 minutes in a combination of gratitude, intention setting, and surrender. Let me break that down for you because each piece is important. I start by expressing gratitude. Not generic gratitude where you just say thank you for everything. I am talking about specific appreciation for the life I have been given, for the people in my world, for the opportunities before me, for the lessons from yesterday, even if they were hard lessons. This immediately shifts my mindset from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to appreciation. It is impossible to feel genuinely grateful and anxious at the same time. They cannot coexist. Then I set intentions for the day. Not just tasks and goals, not my to-do list, but who I want to be. Do I want to be patient today? Present, courageous, compassionate, kind, focused? I ask for the strength and wisdom to embody those qualities. I ask for help in being the person I want to be, not just doing the things I want to do. Finally, I practice surrender. This is the hardest part for a lot of people, especially if you are a control freak like me. I acknowledge that despite my best efforts and intentions, I am not in complete control of outcomes. I can control my actions, my responses, my effort, but I cannot control results. I surrender my anxieties, my need for perfection, my attachment to specific results. I trust that if I show up with integrity and do my best, things will unfold as they are meant to. Not always how I want them to, but how they need to. This practice has transformed my relationship with stress and uncertainty. When you start your day by acknowledging what you can control and releasing what you cannot, you approach challenges with more equanimity and less reactivity. You stop freaking out about every little thing. Here is how my morning prayers integrate with all my other habits, and this is where you really see the compound effect. After prayers, I prepare my black coffee with a sense of gratitude for this simple pleasure. The coffee ritual feels more meaningful when it follows prayer. It is not just caffeine, it is a gift I get to enjoy. My nature walks often become extended prayer experiences, walking meditation where I remain in conversation with the divine, or simply present to the beauty around me. Some of my most profound spiritual experiences have happened not sitting in meditation, but walking slowly through nature. When I write in my notebook after prayer, the ideas that come feel deeper, more aligned with my authentic voice, rather than what I think I should create or what will be popular. Staying hydrated throughout the day becomes an act of honoring the body I have been given, treating it as sacred rather than just a vehicle for productivity. Among all the 5 life-changing habits I have shared, this one is the most important. Let me say that again. This is the most important habit. Because without this spiritual foundation, the other habits become just productivity techniques. They become things you do to optimize your performance. But with this foundation, they become practices of self-care, growth, and alignment with purpose. They become part of how you show up in the world as your best self. Morning prayer does not have to look like mine. It can be meditation, journaling, reading sacred texts, sitting in silence, or whatever connects you to something beyond your immediate concerns. The specific form matters less than the consistent practice of beginning your day with intention, gratitude, and presence. This habit has given me peace in a chaotic world. It has helped me stay grounded when external circumstances feel unstable, when everything around me feels like it is falling apart. It has reminded me daily that I am part of something larger than my individual struggles and ambitions. Now let us talk about the compound effect of these 5 life-changing habits, because this is where it gets really interesting. Here is what I want you to understand deeply. Individually, none of these habits are revolutionary. Drinking black coffee will not transform your life overnight. Neither will walking in nature or carrying a notebook or drinking more water or praying. Even practiced individually, each habit has benefits, sure, but those benefits are modest. The magic is not in any single habit. The magic is in the compound effect of practicing multiple positive habits consistently over time, all supporting and enhancing each other. This is crucial to understand. Since implementing these 5 life-changing habits, I have experienced profound shifts. I have lost about 25 pounds over the last several months. I am writing and creating content more regularly than I did last year. My output has probably doubled. While there have been stressful aspects during this time, life is still life. Much of that stress has been mitigated by the habits I have implemented. But beyond the measurable outcomes, beyond what you can see or count, I feel different. I feel more grounded, more purposeful, more at peace with myself and my path, more connected to what truly matters in life. None of this happened because I made one big dramatic change. It happened because I made 5 small changes and stuck with them day after day after day. Think of it like compound interest for your life. If you improve by just 1% every day through small consistent habits, you do not end up 365% better at the end of the year. You actually end up exponentially better because the improvements compound on each other. The math is incredible. Starting my day with prayer gives me clarity. That clarity helps me appreciate my black coffee ritual instead of just gulping it down mindlessly. The caffeine supports my focus throughout the morning. My nature walk processes my thoughts and reduces stress, giving me mental space. The ideas that come during my walk get captured in my notebook instead of being lost forever. Staying hydrated keeps my energy stable throughout the day so I do not crash. All of this creates momentum that carries into the next day, and the next, and the next. This is the virtuous cycle that these 5 life-changing habits have created in my life. So how do you implement your own life-changing habits? If you are listening to this and feeling inspired to adopt these habits yourself, I want to give you some practical advice based on what actually worked for me. Not theory, but what I actually did. First, and this is crucial, do not try to implement all 5 at once. I did not do that. These habits were built up over months, not days. Start with one, just one. Choose the habit that resonates most strongly with you, or addresses your biggest current challenge right now. If you are struggling with energy and mental clarity, start with the hydration habit or switching to black coffee. If you are struggling with stress and anxiety, start with the nature walk or morning prayer. If you are struggling with creative output and feeling stuck, start with the notebook habit. Commit to that one habit for 30 days. Make it non-negotiable. Put it on your calendar. Tell someone about it. Do not judge whether it is working during those 30 days. Do not evaluate it. Just do it. Show up every day. After 30 days, the habit should feel somewhat automatic. Not effortless, but automatic. It should feel weird not to do it. That is when you can add a second habit. Make the habit ridiculously easy to start. This is crucial and where most people mess up. The easier it is to begin, the more likely you will actually do it. Want to start the black coffee habit? Set up your coffee maker the night before so you just press a button in the morning. Buy good quality coffee beans that you actually enjoy. Want to start the nature walk habit? Put your walking shoes by the door where you will see them. Choose a route ahead of time so you do not have to think about where to go. Want to start the notebook habit? Buy a notebook you actually love, something that makes you happy to pick up, and keep it in your bag. Want to start morning prayers? Create a dedicated space in your home that invites you to practice. Remove every obstacle between intention and action. Focus on showing up, not on performance. This is another place where people fail. They think it has to be perfect or it does not count. Some days my nature walk is just 15 minutes instead of 30. Some days my morning prayers are just 5 minutes of gratitude instead of 20 minutes of deep practice. That still counts. That still reinforces the identity of someone who shows up. Track your consistency. I use a simple habit tracker where I mark an X for each day I complete a habit. Just a piece of paper on my wall with boxes. The visual chain of X's becomes reinforcing. You do not want to break the streak. It becomes a game. But if you do miss a day, and you will, life happens, forgive yourself and make sure you do not miss 2 days in a row. This is the never miss twice rule. Missing once is an exception. Missing twice is the beginning of quitting. It is the start of a new pattern you do not want. Let me share something important with you before we close today. These habits changed my life, but they might not be the exact habits that change yours. And that is okay. That is actually the point. The deeper truth is not about black coffee or nature walks or notebooks. The deeper truth is about intentionally, consistency, and self-trust. When you choose a habit and commit to it, you are not just changing a behavior. You are proving to yourself that you are someone who follows through. You are demonstrating that you have agency over your life. You are building evidence that you can change. That evidence accumulates. That self-trust compounds. And eventually you look back and realize you are not the same person you were a year ago. Not because something magical happened, but because you showed up day after day and made small choices that aligned with who you wanted to become. These 5 life-changing habits have transformed my life this year. They have made me healthier, more productive, more creative, more peaceful, and more confident. But the real transformation is not about losing weight or creating more content. The real transformation is about becoming someone who I respect. Someone who follows through on commitments. Someone who does not just have good intentions, but takes consistent action. Someone who prioritizes what truly matters: health, creativity, presence, and spiritual connection. That is what these habits have given me. And that is what the right habits can give you too. So I will leave you with this question. What is the one habit you are going to commit to starting today? Not 5 habits. 1. Choose it right now as you are listening to this. Start it today. Show up for it tomorrow. And the next day. And the day after that. 6 months from now, you will look back and realize that one small decision changed everything. I believe in you, champion. Now go make it happen. And that brings us to the close of today's episode. I really hope you discovered something valuable here, something you can immediately put into action to transform not just your habits, but your entire life. If this episode resonated with you, if something I said clicked for you, please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss our Tuesday morning conversations. We have got some incredible episodes coming up. And listen, share this episode with someone who needs to hear this message. Someone who is struggling to make changes. Someone who is stuck. Someone who is ready to transform their life one small habit at a time. When we lift each other up, we all rise together as champions. Now remember, I have put together all the resources we discussed today in the video description below. You will find habit tracking templates, morning prayer guides, implementation checklists, everything you need to actually start building these 5 life-changing habits in your own life starting today. And if you want to dive even deeper into mastering your focus, overcoming your fears, and killing procrastination once and for all, I have written 3 books available on Amazon Kindle. The Focus Unleashed, where you will master the art of laser focus and skyrocket your productivity. The Death of Fear, break free from fear and build lasting confidence. And The Procrastination Killers, go from stuck to unstoppable by building your peak productivity system. Feel free to check them out, give them a read, and let me know what you think. I read every message, every review. Again, thank you so much for spending this time with me today, champions. Thank you for investing in yourself. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being willing to do the work of transformation. I am Diep Pham, the creator of this podcast, and I am honored to be your companion on this path. Until next Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, stay intentional, stay consistent, and keep building the life you truly deserve. You have got this, champion. Now go make it happen.